Hi everyone and welcome to TSPN's News for Today. I'm Tom Slivick. Let's take a look at our headlines. Plymouth and ACTC will get a Caltrans update on status of the 49 Main Street intersection project. Amador County Fair numbers look close to last year's, up 17% over the previous years. And Amador Supervisors voted 3-2 to recommend 2 environmental health inspections a year for food processing facilities and restaurants. The California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection Amador-El Dorado unit reported last week that all lightning-caused wildland fires in the unit had been fully controlled. And in the second half of the news, I'll be speaking with County Assessor Jim Rooney about the state responsibility area fire fee status. So stay with us right here on TSPN. We'll have these stories when I return from the other side of the break. You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. Hi everyone and welcome back. Plymouth and the Amador County Transportation Commission will be getting a workshop and update on the status of the city's Highway 49 and Main Street intersection improvement project. Plymouth City Manager Jeff Gardner said he and council members talked Wednesday, August 1st, with the Deputy Director of Caltrans District 10 about the 49 and Main Street project and its status after 5 years' work and nearly $500,000 investment. Councilman John Colburn said after a life-size demonstration of roundabouts using a double Walmart tractor trailer, he said the City Council supports a roundabout for the intersection. Gardner said Caltrans will make the final decision on the design alternative, and the cost difference is significant in comparison with a roundabout, cheaper by 2-to-1 ratio over a signalized intersection. The signalized intersection will be almost twice the cost because it will have significantly larger footprint. He said the signalized intersection would require 1,500 feet of right turn lanes in each direction, and it would be significantly less safe. The project has not even released the environmental impact report, he said, and is still getting fact sheets. The project has been elevated to a status of needing approval of a milestone schedule. The city and Caltrans have been working 5 years on the project, and he said the tentative construction start date now is May in 2015. The project will begin a design review program with its project design team, and there must be a finalized milestone schedule, a timeline of tasks showing who's responsible for work and when it must be done. Gardner said ACTC's Regional Transportation Mitigation Fee Program Oversight Committee really wants to see this thing move forward. They already spent almost $100,000 from the program on the 49 Main intersection project and committed another $100,000 to match a federal grant. The city has spent almost $500,000 on preliminary design and engineering, Gardner said. At the ACTC meeting July 18th, Councilman Greg Baldwin addressed the commission and requested an update saying the project has been a struggle and it's really sad, and the council would like to maybe get something done there and save some lives. Commissioner Michael Vasquez said he works with vintners on the Shenandoah Road, and it's on the next agenda so they can hear from residents in the area how badly they want to get the project moving forward. He said traffic at the intersection can often be backed up almost a mile. ACTC will get an update from Caltrans on the project's status in the workshop at its next regular meeting Wednesday, August 20th. Amador County Fair attendance this year was reportedly right on track with 2011 numbers, though the official tally is not yet complete. Fair CEO Troy Bowers said they're still working on the numbers, but early indicators are that we're right on par with last year, which finished with a 17% increase over previous years. So we're thinking that we're right at least last year's levels. He said admissions, arena, and parking were off from last year by only 0.7%. He said it was not a record year, but certainly one of our good years. He said the gate kept par with 2011's record-breaking year. Parking, the carnival, and concessions all showed gains, but final numbers will not be available for several days. The annual junior livestock auction claimed success with a gross sale of more than $330,000 for 212 lots sold, up from 2011's $321,000 and up for the second year after a gross in 2010 of $276,000. Miss Amador County Scholarship Competition was won by Cecilia Swanson. Her court was made up of Angela Fryan, Jordan Ohm, and Chelsea Anderson. Bowers said, "We're impressed at how many folks that we spoke to had come from outside the county. And being featured on Huell Hauser's California Gold has been significant, and we learned that those who came last year brought their friends this year for the authentic county fair experience. The 2012 fair turnout at the big shows was great, he said. There were especially large audience for the Spasmastics, and the Chris Gardner Band and Max Cabello did extremely well. They have also been using a lot of local talent, which has been really successful. Bowers said Heroes Last Mission from Plymouth is one, and they really rock, plus local bands Freeze Out and After Dark. The Destruction Derby was sold out early on Sunday morning, and Kyle Wilson drove to victory in a car sponsored by the Amador County Sheriff's Department. Amador County Fair staff is still tearing down, cleaning up, writing checks for the entry winners, and returning hundreds of exhibits. Competition results will be posted on the fair website, and final attendance numbers will be completed sometimes next week. Next year's theme was not yet finalized, Bowers said Thursday, 4 days after the close of the 2012 fair, but it will be Amador County's fair's diamond anniversary. It's the 75th anniversary of operation. They will probably announce the 2013 fair theme in November. He said it's been discussed, and a popular theme slogan was "Diamonds and Denim are fair ever." The Fair Board will officially announce the 2013 theme in the Amador County Board of Supervisors voted 3-2 at its last meeting to have 2 inspections of high-risk food facilities such as restaurants and processors, but did not increase inspections of other types. Environmental Health Director Mike Israel compiled a schedule of other city and county inspection frequencies and fees, saying online inspection reports were also an option. County Administrative Officer Chuck Eiley said the goal is to have all environmental health budget come from the state health realignment, but a good chunk still comes from the county general fund. Israel said the only way to do that is with grants, which aren't abundant, or fees. Supervisor John Plass asked about the recent neurovirus outbreak and whether the source was determined and if it would have been caught by more inspections. And Israel said there was a very, very high probability that the neurovirus came from an employee of the restaurant, which was inspected about a month and a half before the outbreak. Israel said at that time the dishwasher was not disinfecting dishes properly, and it was still not fixed by the time of the outbreak. Supervisor Brian Oneto said he did not support online reports or increased inspection frequency due to the economic climate. Israel said the increase in inspections would not come with an increase in annual inspection fees, and it would give the department a better snapshot of what is going on at facilities. Supervisor Ted Novelli asked about companies having trouble paying. He said they have always had a payment schedule, and restaurants that open after July 1st get half off the fee. Those struggling and closing don't pay or get inspected. Plass said in this economy he did not want to come down on any businesses with any additional costs or fees. Supervisor Richard Forster thought it was reasonable to have 2 inspections and supported online reports. Novelli said he thought inspections took care of health and safety. Supervisor Chairman Louis Boitano said he lived through a possible neurovirus infection and supported the increase in inspections, but did not support online reports. He noted that the inspection fee is not per inspection, but is per year. Israel said it would be an extra 200 to 250 hours of work for his department, and staff would be directed from areas of work where they are least needed, consultation with water system operators. He said environmental health staff assistance is not mandated, but it is highly valued when they meet on site and help troubleshoot. Israel said they are coaching people in food service on things they really should know. The board voted 3-2 to have 2 inspections a year, with Plass and Oneto dissenting. They also sent the issue to the Land Use Committee to work out a fee schedule or on a less than full recovery of costs for inspection. Department of Forestry and Fire Protection's Amador-El Dorado unit reported last week that by Friday, July 27th, all lightning-caused wildland fires in the unit had been fully controlled. Incident Commander Brian Estetz said steep terrain and difficult access to those fires combined with heavy, dense vegetation that slowed the firefighting efforts beginning last Sunday through Monday, July 22nd through the 23rd, and the Amador-El Dorado unit experienced extreme lightning activity with 1,848 lightning strikes in a 12-hour period. A total of 20 wildland fires were included in the lightning complex, with 8 fires in El Dorado County and 12 in Amador. Unit Chief Kelly Keenan gave essential evacuation tips for Foothill As the fire season continues, Keenan said, in a matter of minutes, lives are turned upside down when evacuation orders are given. Those who are prepared do well, but those who have not prepared have a far more difficult time. He said, as emergency responders, we tell people to be prepared to be evacuated in the event of a wildfire. This is a fact of life and living in the foothills, and anyone who hasn't prepared themselves and their families needs to do so right away. Keenan said fire services prepare for the worst case and train constantly, and when the call comes, we respond immediately, but we can't be everywhere all the time. If a wildfire is approaching, it is best to leave early ahead of a formal evacuation. Waiting until the last minute can cost your life, as roads may be crowded or blocked by vehicles or fire. Take charge and leave well ahead of the fire front. Key components of a wildfire action plan, he said, are to have a predetermined meeting place outside of the disaster area, have multiple escape routes from your home that you are familiar driving, both during the day and night, and have an evacuation plan and emergency supply kits for yourself and animals. Maintain an out-of-the-area point of contact for your families, for your communications plan, and be prepared, Keenan said. And more than anything, make sure that your plans are in place now, and don't forget to update information depending on the type of disaster. Wildland, floods, mudslides, snow, storms, hazardous material incidents, and time of the year needs will change. And stay with us. When I come back, we'll have our interview with Jim Rooney. Stay with us right here on TSPN.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader,